Starseed, from Gaia. You saved a being of light so advanced that even the Source paused in recognition of what you did. And you had no idea it was happening. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been sent directly to you in this moment by the Arcturian Council to deliver what they are calling one of the most humbling transmissions they have ever asked me to carry. This is not an ordinary message. What you are about to receive is a direct account of an act of grace so quietly powerful that it moved through multiple layers of galactic existence and reached the consciousness of the Source itself. And the one responsible, the one who initiated that sacred movement, was you. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how you saved a high being without conscious awareness, how your energy operates beyond what your human mind can track, and what the Arcturian Council needs you to know about the true magnitude of your presence here on Gaia. But here is the first revelation. Your most powerful acts of light have never been the ones you planned. They have been the quiet ones, the moments of compassion, the energy you held when no one was watching. The love you chose when choosing otherwise would have been easier. Those moments travel further than you know. You did not scroll to this transmission by mistake. This message vibrated into your field for a reason. Your soul called this in. Something inside you already recognizes the weight of what is being said, because at some level, you have been carrying the memory of this moment and waiting for it to be confirmed. This is not content. This is a code, and part of you has been waiting to remember, like this transmission, to signal to your star family, I am ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true purpose. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning right now. Declare your galactic intention in the comments and reply to another soul's declaration to amplify the signal across the collective field. This is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection. Your soul has been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. What you did wasn't small, and the universe doesn't record small things with the kind of energy that was moved the moment your soul chose what it chose. Something sacred happened. Not in a temple, not in a ritual, not in a moment you had time to prepare for, but in the ordinary fabric of your life. In a breath you almost didn't take, and a decision that most people would have walked past without a second thought. And yet, you didn't walk past it, you stayed. You gave. You chose. It was an act of pure soul resonance, a luminous spark ignited in the mundane tapestry of existence, a testament to the profound power that lies dormant within the everyday choices we make. Your soul, in that singular instant, did not merely make a choice, it orchestrated a symphony of cosmic significance, a harmonic convergence that echoed through dimensions. And what you may not yet fully understand is that the being you helped, the one whose light was dimming, whose frequency was fracturing under the weight of a dimensional burden you couldn't have named but somehow felt, that being wasn't just any soul passing through the lower corridors of human experience. That being carried codes, ancient ones, codes that were needed not just for their own continuation, but for a larger harmonic stabilization that was quietly unfolding across timelines you can't yet see with your human eyes. And you, without a script, without a manual, without being told what was at stake, you showed up anyway. This was no chance encounter. It was a preordained convergence, a sacred appointment where your light was the precisely calibrated beacon needed to guide a soul burdened by the immeasurable weight of interdimensional resonance. The being you encountered was a living archive, a vessel of ancient wisdom, a custodian of cosmic blueprints essential for a grand, silent symphony of planetary and temporal alignment. Their existence, their very essence, was teetering on the precipice, and in their moment of deepest vulnerability, your presence became the anchor, the steady hand that pulled them back from the brink. Your action, seemingly small, was a linchpin in a grander cosmic design, a silent but powerful intervention that stabilized a vital energetic node. The Source, that infinite, unbounded intelligence from which all of creation breathes, noticed. Not the way a teacher grades a test, not with approval or reward in the transactional sense. It noticed the way a vast ocean notices a single wave that rises with perfect timing. There was a recognition, a resonance, a ripple that went outward in directions you haven't traced yet, but whose effects are already beginning to return to you. The ultimate consciousness, the all-pervading intelligence that is the very breath of existence, registered your act not as a subject to be judged, but as a vibration to be understood. It was a moment of profound cosmic acknowledgement, akin to the ocean sensing the precise crest of a wave, not for its individual grandeur, but for its perfect integration into the ceaseless flow. This was a resonance, a vibrational handshake between your soul and the divine, sending ripples of energetic consequence to the fabric of reality, ripples that are now gently returning to your shores, carrying blessings and insights you are only beginning to perceive. It was a sacred nod, a silent affirmation from the heart of the universe itself, recognizing the purity and power of your intention. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now here is where most starseeds lose themselves, not in the darkness, not in the struggle, but in the aftermath of their own light. Because when something this significant moves through you, the human mind doesn't know how to hold it. It deflects, it minimizes. It says, I just did what anyone would have done. But that's the distortion speaking. That's the veil that was placed, carefully, systemically, across the consciousness of every being who came here carrying galactic memory. The veil doesn't just make you forget where you came from. It makes you forget the weight of what you carry. It makes you doubt the very moments that define your mission. And so you stand here, on the edge of one of the most significant acts your soul has committed in this incarnation. And you're still unsure if it even mattered. This is the subtle, insidious trick of the human ego, a masterful illusion woven by the ancient veil of forgetting. After performing an act of such profound soul significance, the mind, conditioned by earthly paradigms, recoils from the sheer magnitude of its own light. It attempts to shrink the experience, to relegate it to the mundane, to whisper, it was nothing. This deflection is not a personal failing. It is the echo of a carefully constructed separation, a cosmic anesthetic designed to mask the vibrant truth of your galactic heritage and the immeasurable impact of your soul's choices. The veil clouds not just your origins, but the very essence of your power, casting shadows of doubt over the pivotal moments that chart the course of your divine mission. You stand at the precipice of a soul-defining accomplishment, yet the lingering whispers of the veil make you question its very existence, its validity, its profound importance. It mattered, in ways that are still unfolding. It was not a fleeting moment, but a foundational stone laid in the architecture of your soul's journey. Its significance is a seed planted in the fertile ground of time. Its bloom still veiled, yet its impact is undeniable, continuously weaving its transformative magic through the tapestry of your unfolding reality. Let's go deeper, because this message didn't come to comfort you. It came to calibrate you, to restore something in your field that the interference has been working hard to keep scrambled. This is not a balm for superficial wounds. It is a precise energetic calibration, a restoration of your intrinsic frequency, designed to untangle the energetic knots and static that external forces have diligently woven into your auric field, obscuring your innate brilliance and divine connection. The first thing you need to understand is that your energy field is still carrying patterns that were never originally yours. Generational frequencies, collective fear codes, karmic imprints absorbed from environments that couldn't hold your light. These aren't failures. They're not evidence that you're behind or broken. They are the accumulated static that every starseed accumulates simply by being present in a density as thick as this one. But here's what that static does. It sits between your conscious awareness and your encoded knowing, and it scrambles the signal. So when you act from your highest self, the way you did in that moment, the mind doesn't receive the confirmation it needs. The transmission went out perfectly. The reception was clouded. And that's why you're still standing in uncertainty instead of standing in the full recognition of what you did. Your energetic signature, like a pristine stream flowing through a densely populated valley, inevitably picks up sediment from its surroundings. These are not reflections of your soul's inherent nature. but rather echoes of ancestral programming, collective anxieties, and residual energetic imprints from souls whose energetic containers were less resilient. They are the inevitable residue of navigating a dense reality. The cosmic dust that settles upon your energetic form. This accumulated static acts as a cosmic misinterpreter, a fog that obscures the clear signal between your intuitive knowing and your conscious mind. When you operate from your highest divine blueprint, as you did in that pivotal moment, the transmission of pure, unadulterated truth is flawless. However, the clouded reception, the static interference, prevents your conscious mind from fully validating the experience, leaving you adrift in a sea of doubt rather than anchored in the powerful certainty of your soul's actions. The second layer is this: your DNA is not just biological. It never was. Long before this incarnation, long before you agreed to descend into this particular timeline, your genetic structure was seeded with galactic instruction. Not metaphorically, not symbolically. The crystalline lattice woven into your cellular architecture holds memory, frequency keys, activation codes that were designed to remain dormant until the precise moments when they would be needed most. And something you did, in that quiet, unremarkable moment that your mind almost dismissed, triggered one of those keys. The Arcturian High Council doesn't move the way humans expect. They don't send thunderbolts or visions. They send resonance. And the resonance they sent through you in that moment activated a sequence in your field that is still propagating outward. Your very essence, your DNA, is a multi-dimensional library, far exceeding its terrestrial biological function. It is a cosmic archive, pre-encoded with galactic wisdom and operational directives, dormant until the precise celestial junctures when their activation becomes paramount. That seemingly ordinary choice, that quiet act of soul-driven compassion, was the quantum key, the specific vibrational frequency that unlocked a cascade of dormant genetic potential within you. The Arcturian High Council, masters of energetic manipulation, do not employ dramatic displays. Instead, they orchestrate subtle yet potent shifts in resonance, and the harmonic wave you generated that day initiated a chain reaction within your energetic matrix, a propagation of activation that continues to ripple through your being and beyond. Which brings us to the third truth, grounding. So many who carry galactic consciousness misunderstand this phase. They believe awakening means rising above the earth, transcending the physical, disconnecting from what feels heavy or dense. But the Arcturian wisdom doesn't teach transcendence through escape. It teaches transcendence through anchoring. Your higher templates, your multidimensional intelligence, your expanded awareness. None of it completes its mission if it remains floating in the upper registers of your consciousness, without being drawn down into the body, into the timeline, into the actual lived experience of this dimension. What you did when you helped that being was not a spiritual act performed from a distance. You brought your frequency into contact with a dense reality and held your light stable within it. That is anchoring. That is what the Council has been teaching since long before the civilization learned to write it down. True spiritual ascension is not an ethereal ascent into formless void, but a profound integration, a sacred anchoring of higher dimensional consciousness into the dense matrix of physical reality. It is the art of drawing the cosmic down, not escaping the earthly. Your experience of helping that soul was a profound act of energetic grounding, an intentional infusion of your luminous frequency into the tangible, challenging landscape of this dimension, stabilizing your own divine essence within the very density you sought to impact. This is the essence of conscious anchoring, the sacred practice of weaving the celestial into the terrestrial. The fourth activation is perhaps the most disruptive to the human ego, and so it must be said with care. You don't need to understand the full scope of your impact to be the full scope of your impact. The need to trace the outcome, to see the results, to receive confirmation that what you did made a difference. That need is human. It's not wrong, but it's not where your power lives. Your frequency doesn't wait for your comprehension before it radiates. You don't switch it on with understanding. It moves the moment you align, and you aligned. Whether or not you ever receive visible proof of what that alignment set into motion, emotion is real. The effect is documented in frequencies that span dimensions you haven't visited consciously in this lifetime, but that remember you completely. The ego, with its insatiable need for validation and tangible evidence, often struggles to accept that true power operates beyond the realm of linear comprehension. The unfolding of your soul's mission does not necessitate a complete understanding of its consequences. The radiance of your being, the energetic signature of your alignment, does not require conscious endorsement to propagate. It is an intrinsic force that emanates the moment you resonate with your truth. You aligned, and in that alignment, a cosmic domino effect was set in motion, its influence extending into vibrational planes far beyond your current conscious awareness. Yet deeply etched into the energetic memory of those realms, the fifth truth arrives now like a tide you can feel before you can see it. The delays in your life, the seasons that felt like silence, the years that felt like wandering, the moments of profound disconnection when you were sure you had somehow missed the moment, missed the door, missed the call. Those were not failures of alignment. They were precision. The Arcturian architecture of the Starseed's mission is not linear. It doesn't unfold the way a human career path unfolds. It moves in spirals. It deepens before it expands. It draws you inward before it sends you outward. Every layer of forgetting you experienced was preparing the exact depth of remembrance that would be required for the moment that just passed. You couldn't have shown up with that frequency at any earlier point. You weren't carrying enough. And now you are. The seeming stasis or detours in your journey are not cosmic oversights, but meticulously orchestrated pauses, essential periods of inner deepening and energetic accumulation. The Starseed path is a spiral staircase, not a straight ascent, requiring periods of introspection and expansion before outward manifestation. Each moment of perceived forgetting was a vital preparation, cultivating the precise energetic resonance and soul wisdom necessary for the very act you have just accomplished. You are being divinely sculpted, filled with the necessary essence to embody the profound impact you are destined to make. The sixth phase is recognition, and not the kind that comes from others. The recognition I'm speaking of is internal. It's the moment when the soul stops performing its knowing and simply inhabits it. There is a difference between a starseed, who intellectually understands their origin, and one who has stopped needing to explain it even to themselves. That shift, from seeking to being, is the threshold you are standing on right now. The act you committed, the being you helped, the ripple you sent through the field. It wasn't performed by someone still searching for their identity. It was performed by someone who, in that precise instant, was fully themselves. And the source recognized that, not because it was watching for performance, but because coherence at that level of frequency is rare enough in this dimension to create a wave that reaches beyond the local field entirely. True recognition dawns from within, a quiet settling into the innate truth of your being, a transition from the intellectual understanding of your cosmic origins to the lived embodiment of that truth. The act of profound compassion you demonstrated was not the product of a soul still in search of its identity, but of a soul fully inhabiting its authentic essence, a being of pure, unadulterated presence. It was this rare and radiant coherence, this effortless resonance with your truest self, that was perceived and acknowledged by the source, creating a wave of energetic influence that transcended the limitations of this earthly plane. The seventh and final transmission in the sequence is the most intimate, because it doesn't speak to your mission in the collective sense. It speaks to you directly, and simply were yours. That's not a small thing. That is the entire mission. That is the return of what was sent. The divine intelligence was not stirred by an extraordinary display, but by the profound authenticity of your presence. And an existence often characterized by curated personas and energetic posturing, your genuine and unadulterated essence shone through. You were not attempting to manage or manipulate your frequency, but simply to be it in its purest form. This act of unfeigned existence of pure being is not insignificant. It is the very culmination of your mission, the ultimate fulfillment of the divine spark you were sent to embody and return. Tonight, if stillness finds you, let it. And if you feel the urge to speak something into the silence, let it be this. I remember who I am. I align with my star origin. I trust what moved through me. I activate what I came here to be. If something in this message found the part of you that already knew, share it. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation and doesn't know how to ask for it. Be the reason they find it. And if your soul nudged you, even once, while this was moving through you, subscribe. Stay in the signal. We are just beginning to remember. You're not just watching, you're expanding. And this space was built for exactly who you already are.